What's up, YouTube? Today I will be showing you my Ethan's Typhlosion Pokemon deck. But before I do so, I want to show you something that I got from Ross. I got an action figure, Typhlosion, one of my favorite Pokemon. Got it for a pretty good price of $13. They had Charizard, Samurott, and Dragapult, but I didn't see those. They did have Articuno and Moltres, but got this one because it's my favorite Pokemon. So, still deciding to keep it in the package or to take it out, but I got it. I also want to show you a Cyndaquil, holographic. One of my friends gave it to me. So, all right. So this is my Ethan's deck. Oh, also, I went to Indianapolis in a card shop in Indianapolis for the pre-release and cool deck box. It was a pretty cool event. I went 2-1. One of the people that were running the pre-release, he gave me a hint to not change any cards out on the build battle box. But I only changed out one because I got an Ethan's Adventure, and I ended up going 2-1. So pretty cool advice he gave me for my first pre-release. So this is my deck. I will be zooming in. All right, cool. So we have 4 Ethan's Cyndaquil for the basics. And then we'll have Ethan's Cool Lava using the ability Bonded by the Journey. It lets you search an Ethan's Adventure card from your deck to your hand. And then we have 3 Ethan's Typhlosions. The main attack that we use often, or will almost about 90% of the time, will be Buddy Blast. So for every Ethan's in the discard pile, it does 60 plus damage. So if you have 4, you'll do a 280 because of the 40 plus, and pretty decent knockouts that you could do with that. Adding some tool cards too as well to help out, and with stadiums I'll be showing in a little bit. So I have a Dunsparce engine. So I do 2 the Dunsparce, and then I like to add the Dunsparce EX because of his tenacious tail. Attack does 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX in play. Sometimes there's decks that run multiple EX and that they sit on the bench as well, like Latias EX. Then they have Ogerpon, and then they have Pheasantipity, or even Pidgeot EX, or even any attacker that's just waiting on the bench. If you find yourself having a Dunsparce, and instead of wanting to draw, if you want to do a one attack, just one energy cost, the Dunsparce EX is pretty good. Especially, it's a pretty decent size on HP, 270. So it takes for them to knock it out, they'll have to use a big attack. So that's my engine that I use, kind of like my secret play. I run a Ursaluna. I've seen people do Pheasantipity, but because I already have the Dunsparce engine, I don't mind doing the Ursaluna. Especially sometimes I find myself not having a Typhlosion in a late game because they knocked it out. Because his HP is not so high as that 170. So having a late game helper helps out pretty good. So that's why I added Ursaluna. And then for the 1-ofs, I have a Victini. So for Victory Cheer, you add 10 damage. 10 more damage for any Evolution Fire. So that would be helpful for Typhlosion when he does attacks. So I have Heatmore. Heatmore is similar to Ethan's Adventure. It helps you search up to 3 in any combination of fire Pokemon or either basics. So sometimes you want to throw Ethan's Adventures into the discard pile by, let's say for instance, any discard card like Ultra Ball or Earthen Vessel if you use it. I don't use it in this deck though, but you could still end your turn by still grabbing fire types and fire energies, and still getting Ethan's Adventure into the discard pile. So this is a very good helper. Or even if you don't discard Ethan's Adventure, you could still use Ethan's Adventure and still end the turn with the licking catch. So it does, like, the same thing twice in one turn, which helps you set up, like for future turns and stuff. So I think it's pretty good to have in the deck. I like using Tatsugiri just in case, if I open with this card, I could find any supporters. And then I use Iron Bundle with the Hyper Blower. It's pretty helpful just in case, say as a boss, it's very good for the deck. I like it. All right, and those are all the Pokemon. So now we're gonna go to the supporters. I got 4 Ethan's Adventure, main card you want on the discard pile, and it's very good on searching all your fire and your basic energies, fire energies, and any other Ethan's Adventure Pokemon. All right, then we have 4 Arvin, as you know, staple. Then we have 2 Boss's Orders, pretty cool. Then Lana's Aid, to help just in case if they knock out your Ethan's Typhlosion, you could get all 3 back, or 2 of the Pokemon and 1 energy or 2 energies. So it's pretty good. And then Iono for disrupt your opponent. So those are all the supporters. Well, my trainer supporter cards. And then we have 3 Ultra Balls. 3 Ultra Balls to help you with the discard of Ethan's Adventure, and getting any specific Pokemon into your bench or your hand and stuff. For instance, like what I have, Ursaluna, or the Dunsparce EX, or any Typhlosion, or even Kulava, any Pokemon, it's pretty helpful. But it does help discarding cards to get your Ethan's Adventure into the discard pile. Then I have 3 Buddy Puffins to get, build up your bench early. I got 2 Night Stretchers. I got a Super Rod, a Switch, and those are my items. Cool Switch card. I like these gold cards. They look pretty cool. And then for tools, 2 Brave Bengals. Those came in clutch. Helps you with attack Pokemon EX 30 plus. So from the 280 plus 30, that's 310. With Victini, that's 320. So you can knock out like Grimmsnarls, I think Dragapult if I'm not mistaken. But you could do some big knockouts by having those. It's not very hard of a setup, but because the deck for me is built to have all those cards active, I feel like Brave Bengal does the work. Then a TM Evolution, sometimes, you gotta evolve. And then Air Balloon, pretty helpful for, like, if I have, like, the Tatsugiri in the active spot, or if I have Victini in the active spot, Air Balloon helps you out, So those are all the tools. Well, I still got some more trainer cards, though. I got Energy Search, one of, so it helps you, like, for instance, if you use Ethan Adventure to get all 3, the evolution line of Typhlosion, and then you could use this card and you just search 1 fire energy, because everything is just 1, so the cost of energies is not too much. 1 rare candy, a redeemable ticket, just in case after you do your deck check in your first turn, if you have Ethan's Adventures in your prizes, this will bring it back. And then if you already have all your Ethan's Adventures, this is a card like you could just use in the discard when you use Ultra Ball and stuff. So Counter Catcher, that's the boss. And then I like to use Prime Catcher. Main reason, I don't have Secret Box, and I've been kind of like procrastinating on getting it, but I don't mind playing with Prime Catcher. So but Secret Box is a very good card, though, help you very well. But I like Prime Catcher, just making sure I'm removing any of their strong Pokemon and then just knocking any other Pokemon out. All right, and for Stadium, I use 3 Gravity Mountains. Of course, you know, Gardevoir, Dragapult, Grimmsnarl. They'll use, you know, reducing their HP will let me attack with Typhlosion and do a knockout. And then I run 6 energies, 3 old school and 3 new school. So those are my energies for the deck. So this is my Ethan's Typhlosion deck. It's my fun deck. I did recently do a tournament. I did go, the first one I went 3-2, and the other one I went 2-3. So some people might just be like, oh, just let it go, but no, it's one of my favorite Pokemon. And I like the deck of how it runs. So, and this is the card that I got also in the pre-release. I was hoping so much to get it when I got there, and it went through, and I got it. I'm like, oh, nice. So I was able to build it, and I'm able to build the deck now, and for fun, I use it. So if you have any comments on my deck on what to change or any opinions, please comment, like, and subscribe. Have a good night, and may God bless you. Bye.